We have more access to information than ever, more access to healthy food and exercise and scientific intervention than ever, and a generation of people who are fatter, sicker, and dumber by every objective parameter, quantifiable variables that we can put into metrics. Any of those available to us. Fatter, dumber, sicker, dying younger. The first generation. How does that happen? I just spent time with a lot of other parents and kids kind of getting ready back to school. And well-meaning people. But you realize when you see kids in school and you see the environment, even good private schools, even Christian schools, it's a constant being surrounded by exclusively feminine influence. And there was a kind of a brief break where people talked about security at schools, which unfortunately is a reality. It's like, okay, so these guys are going to come in, to protect it, to make sure we can all do this. But that's siloed off. And that skill set and that mindset, and it's not just, I don't mean a skill set in fighting, but a skill set in recognizing evil, in making good judgments. Seems like we've lost that. Yes, being good to others. Yes, being kind. Yes, being polite. But how do you maintain it? How do you protect it? And I understand with Tucker Carlson, we're really at a point, there's fertile ground for whether his solutions are correct or incorrect. I haven't had time to go through all of them, and I will. I'll do my due diligence. It's easy to sell people a bill of goods because we all know that something is wrong, and we're being told that there's not. Let me encapsulate that for you. It's the year 2026. Look at Gen Z, and they're incredibly adept at some things, but look at a 20-year-old male or 20-year-old female today. Look at the mental health data that we have. Look at LGBTQAIP. Look at where we are societally. Do you believe that a 20-year-old male today is more well-adjusted and equipped to deal with the world than a 20-year-old male from 20 or 30 years ago? The 90s, the 80s, heck, even the 70s. Because we do have a society right now, think about this, we have more access to information than ever, more access to healthy food and exercise and scientific intervention than ever, and a generation of people who are fatter, sicker, and dumber by every objective parameter, quantifiable variables that we can put into metrics. Any of those available to us. Fatter, dumber, sicker, dying younger. The first generation. How does that happen? If you could travel back in time, I don't know about you, when I was little, I used to fantasize, man, if I could go back to the Revolutionary War with just one machine gun, I would get it done. You think as a kid, what if you could go back to yourself if you were in school in the 90s, the 80s, or even early 2000s, let's say 2002, and say, hey, here's a device that literally has all of the information you could ever want. You don't need to go to a library. You know what? You don't even need to cross-reference search. You ask it, and it can give you the answers. You could take a picture of your test, and it could give you all of the answers with a 100% pass rate or assignment. I'm not advocating cheating. Back then, a young you would go, oh my gosh, this is a superpower. Take your pick, Harvard Law. For some reason, people who've been raised with it, who should be most capable in using it, fatter, sicker, dumber, dying younger. Now, I'm not saying that we need to go back to the days of yore where an alcoholic father came in and beat the crap out of his kids because they didn't know their ABCs or capital letters. But there may be a split the difference. There may be hold on a second. We need to plan for and integrate as part of our curriculum, as part of rearing children, recognizing, making judgments of the evil of the world so that we can continue to correct our course. That's really the big problem. People say the right has gone far right and the left has gone far left. No, the left has gone radically left, and the right in this country, including the Christian conservative right, have appeased and gone moderately left. We've had no course correction. So that opens the door. It creates an opportunity for someone to come in with any type of course correction. And we need to be very diligent in examining if that correction is the right way, if it's accurate, if it's rooted in truth. Because we do need a correction. And I think that anyone denying that, anyone not acknowledging it, well, I think they're destined to fail, doomed to a life of doing the same thing that we've been doing. And we have technology. We have, our lives are a lot easier. That's great. but I don't think we're better off. So I understand why people are reaching out for solutions. And we'll try and get to that and more. On with the show. Now some silly stuff.
Fat vagina is exactly what I would say if I wasn't here on YouTube. So go and subscribe on Rumble. Same channel where free speech is actually alive and well. Or you can stay here and the